Hi, and welcome to my workshop. You know when you hear that music and when you see me playing here, you know, playing the piano I mean, you know that it's time to stop everything and come and watch, because the show is all about creativity. It's all about having fun with fiber, pushing the limits, exploring the possibilities. That's what life's all about. Isn't it, Nancy?
I guess so.
Thanks
Yes.
for joining me, Cousin
you're
Nancy.
welcome.
It's great to have you back
It's always
on the show.
fun.
And what have you been doing since I last saw you?
The book, the latest
Oh.
book, The Unmentionable History of the West.
Actually, we're going to strip today,
Yes.
so is it kind of that sort of thing?
Well, not really.
Okay.
But it's all about what women wore underneath everything, the unmentionables, and how that affected our history. And I have to tell you that you would not be here on television doing all this stuff if we hadn't taken off that underwear. Because it led to a
corsets and
liberation. That's
awful
right.
things
It
that-
changed our lives. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But what
well,
are you talking about?
All right. Well, actually, I want to talk about the idea about stripping. And
Yes,
I
right,
think, I think
stripping.
it's a good one, because
Okay.
this is where I started with this whole thing. It started with the subject of chenille. You've probably heard people talk about
Yes,
chenille.
yeah.
That means you take a base layer, you put a layer on top, and it could be a number of layers on top, whatever, and you sew about 5/8 of an inch apart or half an inch, whatever, it doesn't much matter. And then you cut in between. And you cut in between those layers. And then when you wash that, these all kind of fluff up and go kind of fun.
It took me a little while to get the concept,
Uh-huh.
because I was looking at this, and this is so perfect. It doesn't look like...
Yeah, you kind of
know,
wonder, how did this
yes,
happen?
yeah.
So what it was this sort of shimmery fabric put on top of a base fabric, and you pin it well, and then you sew. You sew at a 45-degree angle. That's the big trick on this, is that if you sewed it straight, you'd have it all fraying. And, you know,
Well, I
fraying
thought you
is,
wanted to.
Well, fraying is good sometimes, but you don't want it to fall apart.
Oh, okay.
So if you sew
All
it at a
right.
45-degree angle, which
I
is
see
bias.
you have here. Yes, okay.
And then you slash it.
Yes.
Then you kind of get this.
Okay.
But I then looked at this and I said, it's a bit boring. Don't you think
Oh,
it's a
you
bit
would.
boring?
You would. I would be so proud, but never
Well, I
mind.
thought, you know, doggone, if I just, it looks like I cut a bunch of bias. So let me just lay this here, because now, you see, I cut a whole bunch of bias strips and sewed them down.
Okay.
And that way I
And
get to have all different
they're
colors and all
different.
different kinds,
Right,
and
okay.
all, I can
So
put them different ways.
if you wash this now, there would be, or are you going to? Are
Oh,
you-
yes. Oh, this has been washed.
It has.
It'll fray up because they're all in the bias, so they're
Yeah.
not going to fall apart.
Okay.
They're just going to fluff up a little bit.
I see.
Do
So
you want
it
to
gives
see
you...
what one of these
Oh,
look
sure.
like?
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's have a look. Because you see, here is Cher in the jacket, and these, you see, if that was one piece of fabric,
so
it would be boring.
These frayed more than some
Yes,
of the
some
others,
do,
so
and
there's
that
variety.
doesn't really matter. That's
Right.
the joy of this game.
Yes.
There's no rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Never is.
Never,
Never
no.
is.
So there's just solid strips. So let's take that one off and put this one on.
Okay.
Because once I did this one, I thought, well, that's maybe a bit more work than I need to do. Could I maybe just put them here and there?
Oh, I see.
You see, so, and they're bias strips, so they want to curve anyway, so you might as well let them curve and sort of let them go
So
all
the
over.
secret is bias.
Bias is
So
is
that it'll
important.
move. Yes,
yeah.
right.
And, then you can have, let's have a look at the other one, because,
Yes.
again, strips is the secret.
Yeah. Oh, this
So-
one. This is the one I want.
Okay,
This is
I
mine.
cut bigger strips, because the bigger strips, the less sewing, of course, so that's easy.
yes, right.
And you don't have to cut them straight. I thought it was important that I cut them crooked, and it's kind of tougher to cut them crooked than straight.
Your
but-
grandmother is spinning in her grave
Yes,
that,
for sure.
that you haven't
Yeah.
kept them all
Yeah,
straight, but
yeah.
never mind.
But there it is. So you're going to sew all those strips all over that jacket,
Lovely.
and that's it.
That's very
So,
nice.
yeah.
Okay,
so, you're
so
with me on
that's
this.
stripping.
That's stripping. That's my idea of stripping.
All right, okay.
Okay, so let's take this one apart, and let's pull this one out, and you can just have a look at what we did.
Okay.
So here's all my strips. Cut a whole
I'll
bunch of
move
bias.
my book out of the road.
So we don't cut it.
Right.
So here is a sleeve. And you would cut the base out. And when I cut the base out, I cut it just a touch bigger, because you could end up
does
sort
take
of
up
pulling
some of
it
the
in a little
fabric.
bit.
Okay.
But look at the nice variety you'll
It's
get.
lovely.
This one hasn't been washed, but you could wash this, and then they'll all kind of fluff up. If you're going to wash it, make sure you cut it a little bit bigger, because it's going to shrink in a little bit
Okay,
too.
all
So,
right.
and then you'd cut it back to size.
All right.
So we won't have to go through all that,
won't do
because
it
we've sort of
right now.
got all that.
All right.
So
And we've
then
done that.
I said, well, here is the next. Once you start this whole stripping thing, could you not then strip other fabrics and stitch them down to a base? You know, I mean,
Well,
that's-
why couldn't you?
well, you've got scraps.
Okay, yes.
So here
So
is
you've
black slinky that's been stitched down.
Right.
But we've taken a really interesting yarn like this silk yarn
and put
it
in
on
the middle.
top and zigzag the whole thing.
Okay.
And the other joy of that is that you don't really have to match it up, because I think this is where you're thinking, is that how do I
How am I
match
gonna
all
get
that?
this? Right.
If you cut the front all solid, You don't cut it first.
Right.
Make it all solid.
So a little
Put
more
this
than
all
you
over.
need.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then slash it.
And
They'll
put
all
your
match.
zipper, they will.
Won't that work?
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cut it
okay.
a little bit bigger to begin with.
So
and
this
then
is
you're safe.
also stripping.
Stripping, yes.
All right. I see that has a fairly wide
So,
application.
Well, did you not want to comment on my jacket?
Oh, well, this is, I love this.
Okay.
This, other than the brown one, which I want. But,
you want this one too.
Yes, okay, let's
so
see
guess
this.
what I found? I didn't have to cut any strips.
Oh, my goodness.
Yarn.
It's already
You've got to go to yarn
frayed.
stores. They're full of exciting stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I
It
decided
is.
to do.
It is
And
pretty.
you could put it any way because it doesn't matter if it's bias. It's yarn. It's
So you didn't wash this to get this effect
No,
then?
it came like
just
that.
like that. Oh.
So I drew some lines to kind of
Right.
give me a guideline, and then stitched this down to wherever, and you can put them closer or farther apart. It's kind of scary how many kinds of yarn
I had no
there
idea
is.
there was yarn like this.
People are out there knitting this, and of course I need to sew it. That's
Ah,
what you need to be
yes,
doing.
right.
This was rather a delight because this is a different yarn, and it's kind of it's got some sparkle in the middle of it.
What is this? Is this what's
This,
there?
it's the same yarn
Same
in
yarn.
a different.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
But you see, I could then
Oh.
start putting some more this way, and yeah, you get it. You get the picture.
I got the picture.
Yeah,
right.
And it's easy, and it's fast, and it's fun.
Okay.
And that's really what it's all about. So you can make as many jackets as you want to do, and you can just make pillows. You can do whatever you want to do.
True. So
Okay.
your stripping is better than some of the stripping I write
think
about.
so. Yeah,
Yes,
I think
right.
so.
Well,
Okay.
well done, Linda.
Thank you for joining me, and don't you go away because we've got more good stuff coming up.
Guests of our show stay at Travel Lodge. Nice rooms, great people. Models provided by Chan International. #1 in personal development training, modeling, and acting.
Have you ever tried to look for a Mother Goose book? I'm really fussy about my Mother Goose book, so I've been looking and looking, and it never, ever occurred to me that I could make one. I've made many, many things, but I never dreamed I would make one of these. So here is Trevor, my great embroidery king, that's coming to tell me I could do
Hi, Linda.
this. It's
Nice
great
to
to
see
have
you.
you.
Thank
so
you.
This is something that a person could do. You've
This
got to
is,
show me.
The Mother Goose and her Gosling's embroidery collection.
Yes,
That's
and if
right.
What I'm thinking is I could make this, then all hell breaks loose. I could make anything.
Yeah. Well, we make quilts out of this collection and books out of the collection.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
And I think it's
yeah.
really nice because you can personalize them
Oh, sure.
with the names,
Sure,
so that
sure.
makes it really fun.
Oh, I'm with you. I got 2 grandbabies. We got to do this for sure. But I also want you to show me then how I could take this idea and make whatever I can dream. I
Okay.
mean, this
I
lets my
promised
mind
you
go wild.
I would show you how we make these
Yes.
designs.
Okay, so how did you do
let me
this?
show here. Open up for the little boy blue.
Okay, here we go.
And I've brought little boy blue. So what you can see here is that we actually had the inspiration from some classic books, but
Sure.
we didn't want to copy their artwork, so
No.
we drew our own. So this is just a pencil drawing that's been colored in.
Yeah.
And for the lettering, we actually just got somebody with really nice handwriting to draw it out. And these 2 images were then scanned. And then from there, we moved to the computer.
Okay.
All right.
So let's
take
do
a
that.
look at my
Okay,
computer.
because there's going to be the fun.
Okay. So what we have over here is the same drawing, and it's been scanned in.
Okay.
And there's the lettering and the design.
Right.
And this software gives us the ability to make designs ourselves or do them sort of automatically. Let me just show you. I can take a simple line tool, and I'm just going to zoom in on the word little and show you how I would just follow the line just like you were sewing on a pattern, and I can digitize the word little. And this is exactly how we made the designs for this collection, was just following the artwork with our tools and digitized all the shapes. So, okay, that shows how I could make the word little, and
You could save that on your little doobie-jiggy.
yes, you would.
Yeah.
Right, I could write it onto a card and take it to the machine.
And it'll print it. Okay.
Absolutely. Now, what I'd like to do is show you how I can make a design from sort of artwork that you might have on your computer. And so I'm going to go and bring up an artwork. This is just a JPEG image.
Okay.
And what we can do is use the automatic tool and let the software take a moment and sort of render all of the stitches automatically. which means we really don't have to do a whole lot of work, and we end up with...
This does not have to be very clever. This
No.
this computer does it.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not going to say that I'm not smarter than the computer. After 25 years,
Exactly.
we learn a few tricks.
Yes.
But I think that's the fun part of digitizing, is learning how you do it. It's like a learning journey.
Sure,
So anyway, this shows that, yes, the software has converted the design for us. And also, you could create a design yourself using tools. Here's a circle tool. And I can just, my daughter who's 7, she loves to make, she says, look, Daddy, I'm digitizing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I could do any shape. And what I'll do, I'll draw a shape. I can make sort of curves or straights. And when I hit enter, it'll fill it in with thread.
Whatever design you choose.
Yeah. See,
With
here
it
I've
from amongst-
chosen a decorative pattern. And there's literally hundreds and hundreds of decorative patterns that we could choose to fill in that shape. We also have embossed patterns, and so I'll just move down out of the hoop area and show you how I can create, and see if you look closely here, how it has like a checkerboard in the background.
It'll stitch all that.
That's right, that would be right, that's the actual texture of the stitching. So,
Okay,
you know,
how about if I want to have a picture, that picture of me at the beginning of the show? Can
we were
we do
playing
that?
with this. Wasn't
Can we
that
do
cool?
that?
Okay, so here's
Not that
the
I want to do
drawing.
this, but...
This is right off of Linda's website, and we thought it would be fun to see how well the software could automatically digitize it. And, you know, it took us about 30 seconds, and we ended up with a design that looks like this.
Oh, this is scary. This is really scary.
Isn't that amazing, Linda? Let's just
all
look
the
closely
stitches-
at your eye there.
Okay.
So that
So
really
that shows you...
looks good, I think,
Yeah.
for not a lot of effort, just
No.
taking a picture from your website, bringing it in. It really turned out cool.
And now I can save that. How do I tell my computer
Yeah,
that
we
it's
can
got... Or how
write it
my
onto a
sewing
card.
machine?
It's just simple as that.
Okay. And I can
What I love about this software, Linda, is that it is so fun, and you can do anything. It's limitless. Really, whatever your imagination has, you can make it with
For
embroidery
sure.
software.
And then guys like you, could you take that image that they've already sort of said, could you change it? Or do you have to start?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or we could add lettering to it. We could add more parts to it, or convert the stitches to different kinds of stitches.
Put different colors? Could you do-
Absolutely. You could change the colors. We could easily take this and change the color of the thread to be, a different shade of pink or something like that.
This is what really delights me. The thought that you could actually come up with whatever design and then you could make it on there, tell your sewing machine to do it and it does it.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
It's so easy to do.
Wow. Thanks, Trevor. That was great. Don't you go away because we've got lots more coming up. My travels today bring me to a Weaver's Guild, and this is a topic I've been long fascinated with. I just love the idea of making your own cloth and making your own things. So we have somebody to help us and help you. And her name is Joan Vanderpool. So it was great to be here, Joan.
Thank you for coming. And we've been here a long time, since 1953, I think the guild started.
Oh, wow.
And in this facility for quite a few years, and it gives us library space, meeting space, loom space.
This is great, and I see there's a whole bunch of people here talking and chatting and weaving and having a good time, and you do this every Monday morning, I think.
Monday morning, Tuesday morning spinning, in the evenings there's weaving and spinning groups as well. General
Wonderful.
meetings and
of course you can come take classes here. I mean, the joy of guilds like this is that they are all over this continent, and there's provincial associations, there's Canadian associations, there's U.S., there's and conferences, and a multitude of things and places to learn.
And lots of people selling us yarns, and
Of
it's
course.
very tempting.
Of course, and you sell your products as well. You have your year, don't you every year you have your Weavers Guild?
Yes, the
sale?
first Saturday in November, right here at the Prince of Wales Armory.
Sure, that's great. Okay, so what got you started in weaving? How did you begin?
Well, I took home ec at university and saw the teachers learning how to weave, but I was taking dietetics, so I just had
you were
to
jealous,
learn.
yes.
Yeah, had to weave.
Sure, and then you took a class. Is that how you got going, or did you?
Yeah, from a private teacher first, and then many classes.
Okay,
So.
sure.
and through the Guild.
Sure. And you've been weaving for, didn't you say, since
1956.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. But you're not getting tired of this. That's the joy of this game, isn't it?
Well, I am still weaving. Yeah.
Yes. And you've got looms at home, let alone the looms here. And,
right.
Yeah.
And you come here for the sociability and the inspiration. You see somebody else doing something, so you want to
And that's what this show is all about, is to get you excited about the same thing. So how many, well, tell me, what kinds of things have you done over the years? And
well, I've done nearly everything, mostly functional things, but
well, I think
clothing. I like clothing. I like rugs.
Yeah.
And
this one interests me. This is something that you did. This is a sweater that's actually woven.
Yes.
And I find that interesting because I thought people only knit sweaters, but you knit part of it and then you weave part of it.
Yeah, I got the yarn in Finland, and I've just forgotten the technique now, but it came out of a book. We have lots of
you can,
periodicals.
Yes, there's lots and lots. So you can do things like dresses and sweaters and all that. This fascinates me, this...
transparency.
Oh, okay.
And Madeline Narton did that, and it's a fine linen background, and as she wove it along, she had a cartoon underneath, and her own drawing.
The drawing, okay.
Yeah, her own design.
Okay.
And she wove the figures in.
So, for instance, that whole thing has been woven. It's not just stuff stitched onto something. The background and everything's been woven.
As she wove from the bottom up to the top.
That's
filled in the spaces. So.
How about those framed pictures?
There are a couple of mine. They're an 8-shaft technique, crackle weave, and I tried to do the sun and the moon.
Well, sure.
And they're rugs.
And normally you don't
scarves.
see things framed, so and the scarves. I mean, scarves are big this year, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And there's
always sell lots of scarves.
Yeah. So I can see there's no end of possibility. So let's have a look. So what?
Okay.
So if I came to your guild, or if I came to a group like yours, and I said I want to learn to weave, is this where I begin?
Yes, on a loom like this, we have beginner classes, intermediate, and others.
Sure.
This is a special study group that we're doing, and this is called Color and Weave, and we learn different techniques. This one's Log Cabin, but this one is the Edmonton tartan. And you can see there are colors coming through the loom that have been wound on the back beam.
And they're they're put into individual spaces so that when I lift this up, there's going to be a different space created than when I lift this up.
Right.
And I have to know all that before I start. I could make a big mess on here pretty easily, couldn't I?
No,
I wouldn't.
Okay.
So that's basically put your shuttle through and just keep going.
Yep, and beat.
Lovely. Okay.
So you can work out your frustrations with the beater.
Of course. I want to go ahead and see what they're doing. There's another room with great big looms, and I think I have to find out what's going on. So thank you so much for this, and keep on going.
Thank you.
Oh, Bertha, it's good to see you again. You're into weaving now.
Yes, I am. From mucklucks and parkas, many classes in your courses.
Fiber Arts is a wonderful umbrella, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And now I'm into making the fabric.
Lovely.
So here we have Catherine and Madeline actually warping a loom.
So they've used this...
yes, this is the beautiful warp that they've made, many colors, and they're actually putting on 12
So you actually
yards.
count out all these...
We do.
Is that what you do? Okay.
Yes,
Right.
make a warp, and 12 yards, we're making 12 tea towels. And so the
Every thread has
work,
to go through that.
Yes,
through
we thread
each
through
one?
the reed,
Okay.
and then thread it through each of the heddles. These are little wires that create the pattern.
Okay.
And onto a 4-shaft loom in this particular case. And then once the loom is threaded, then we tie it on to a back beam here and wind all 12 yards onto the back beam.
And then it gets tighter, I would suppose.
That's right. You build your tension there, and you're ready to weave.
And you'd weave from this side.
That's right. This is your beater bar, and you start weaving with a weft of the same color or a different color.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay,
so this looks to me like the really bad part of this thing.
This is the work part of it, and the fun part is actually weaving.
Okay, let's go and find the fun part, because that's what I'd like to do.
Well,
so
here we have Betty, who's actually weaving a Christmas banner, getting ready for our sale, and for Christmas, and she's using 2 shuttles for the weft and using her pedals.
I like the way
feet.
her feet are moving, because that's instead of having to move these as you do on a hand one, you can use your feet.
Exactly. She's tied it up so it makes it a lot easier, but you have to have a little bit of strength too in your feet.
Sure, and she knows which one to hit. I play the piano and the organ and things like that, so it's sort of, I probably could do that.
It is, and we call this loom music.
Yes,
so
it is.
It's very similar to any skill that you
Sure.
develop.
I like the music that it produces.
That's right. That's right. You have a product at the end.
Sure.
You bet.
Okay.
And you can see the warp is wound here.
So
and
you just keep going until this thing runs out.
That's right. And we've put on, I think, 10 yards there, so each member would be able to make a banner.
Well, we're just about out of time, but I want to talk about what you've got on, because I love it.
Thank you. This is the vest that we make for our conferences, and I've sewed it up. And
you wove the fabric.
I wove
and
the
of course,
fabric.
Weaving is reversible, isn't it? Yeah.
Totally reversible. So I've made this a reversible vest.
That looks like a familiar pattern too.
It is. We picked up the pattern at your shop. That's right. So it's lots of fun.
And I think what delights me is that I saw some more pieces over here, because of course.
Well, not to waste beautiful woven fabric. That's so much stronger. I've made a beautiful scarf and also a little handbag to go with my vest.
That is just wonderful.
Thank you so much.
This piece here kind of fascinating. It's just was sitting here.
Yes, we're all thinking recycle these days, and so we've taken grocery bags and woven them with yarn.
Cut them into strips.
Cut them in strips like fabric.
Sure.
And woven them with yarn, and that makes it very sturdy and very functional.
Yeah.
And
what a great idea.
Yeah,
so you can weave
really
green,
good.
you can weave, I mean, there's so many things.
That's
I
right.
can see that you'll never get tired of this.
No, I'll be here forever as long as I'm able to weave. That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Linda. Good to see you again.
Yes, and we're out of time, so we've got to go. So check out your local Weavers Guild and get going.
To receive the companion book for this series with all of the project details, send $19.98 to the address on your screen or call 1-888-McPhee or visit us on the web at www.mcpheeworkshop.com. Sponsored in part by Janome, quality sewing machines since 1921. And by Rowenta, the garment care experts, meeting the needs of the sewing enthusiast for over 100 years with high-performance irons, steamers, steam generators, and ironing boards. And Wonderfill Specialty Threads, thread for the way you sew. And by the Woolen Mill Store, your source for quality fabrics and more, featuring the largest selection of wool and wool blend, yardage from Pendleton Woolen Mills. And by Horn of America, experience quality, innovative ideas, and customer service. And Creative Festival, bursting at the seams with hundreds of industry experts, conference classes, exhibits, and more. Experience creativity in the making.